But, listen to this assessment from this gentleman. Now let's go by liberal rules here. They're talking about Hispanics. I don't see any Hispanics on that screen. This seems a little racist to me.
There's no diversity or inclusion, guys.
White guy and a black guy talking disparagingly about Hispanics? Wow.
Oof.
As a white woman just sits there and listens?
Oof. That's a no-no, guys. Come on.
Oh, boy.
Get it together.
But again, it's the hypocrisy. That's why every time they call us racist for any kind of conversation, go fuck yourselves. It's just, it's okay for you to do it, though.
Rules for thee, my friend.
Yeah.
Rules for thee.
Just say, Rev, really quickly, too.
Joe Scarborough, thank you. Come on, man.
Rev. Fucking douchebag.
He feels cool when he calls him Rev.
Rev. Can I call you Rev?
No. Okay, Rev.
Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men. Right. It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. The Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and with other Hispanics. You got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
Real honest conversations.
So wait, this is where you have to like sift through the bullshit. Because when they say misogyny, all they really mean is disagreement. They disagreed with Kamala Harris and they don't agree with her vision, so they voted for somebody else. To them, they call it misogyny because they're fucking retarded and they can't. They're simpletons. They can't think beyond any kind of nuance. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the whole thing is like they go, oh well, we got to start looking at this as like just because they're black, maybe they're not gonna vote for Kamala. They're not just gonna vote based on identity. That's kind of what they're saying, but they're trying to disguise it behind misogyny because they have to demonize voters that didn't vote for their party.
Which is why they lost in the first place. It's
right.
Super ironic.
But then they get to a point where they're like kind of getting to a point of like you can't just box everybody in to these racial groups because there's some Hispanics that hate other Hispanics.
Yeah.
That's where they fuck up is when they turn it into hate. They would just go, they're not going to vote based on identity. They're not going to vote based on skin color.
Right.
Just leave it there and
turn
then
it into hate.
Figure it out. So why does it have to be hate and misogyny?
Because their job is to program the people, and that's what galvanizes and programs the people. If you turn on the news,
emotion.
If you turn on the news and you see a group of people in the country that you live in potentially hates you, you're going to be galvanized to be against them. So that's why they do it.
Yeah, and not only that, it's just like calling Trump Hitler or calling, his voters
demonization.
It's demonizing so that also, just like January 6th, it's so that also when some kind of violence happens to them, they can justify it and go, well, they're traitors. Yeah, they're insurrectionists. They don't love America.
Right.
It's like, you mean the country that you fucking hate.
So funny.
It's so ass backwards.
Misogyny.
Well, that's the thing is they're not learning, and that's great for us.
That's good for us.
There's no moment of like, you know what, we fucked up. Maybe this message isn't working. We need to reconfigure, and they're not doing it.
Now, this is where we have to be careful because I believe we're in a position to where the country, especially if they don't change their message, our country is poised to be Republican for the next maybe 2 election cycles, right? So. The thing is, we got to be careful because Trump is different.
Yes,
you can't look at him like just a Republican. He's He's Trump. So when we vote for the next Republican, we got to get the closest we get to Trump because we don't want to end up voting just red and put a rhino in office.
It's beyond what you're saying.
Okay.
I agree with what you're saying, but this is where we need to do now. And it's that whole old kind of timey Republican is over.
Yes.
That shit is done with. And that's what we need to start doing. Like, for instance, you know, even on the coverage that we have, like, that's why I'm glad Trump won, because what it meant to me as well was that the sort of attitude and the demeanor that Trump has is going to be the change of the Republican Party. The Republicans are going to see, okay, we need to start playing a little harder and be a little more brash
in our messaging
and troll some more, because we're better at that, because we don't have the same boundaries.
Filters.
Yeah. When they troll, it's fucking lame, and people they laugh at it for the wrong reasons.
It's cringe.
Right. So to me, it was almost like, and no disrespect to, I'm just using their name, but like a Daily Wire, their type of conservative, as opposed to our type, the blue collar type, is the takeover.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, I respect them. Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, all them. I respect what they do. They're fucking brilliant. But that's not what connects to people. And it's what I always said. Our show, what I pitch to them, our show is a show that brings, you know, people who are, you know, blue collar, you know, people who like funny jokes and shit like that, off color shit.
Yeah.
And then we direct them to people like the Ben Shapiro. Here, if you want the information, the real news, go over to there.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And they never did that, the Republican Party. And that's why, like, for instance, we were fucking liberals for a long time because they didn't know how to resonate with us.
Mm-hmm. And we fell for the liberal messaging.
But that's their fault too.
Mm-hmm.
They let that happen.
They did by not giving us the truth in a palatable way.
Yes, yes. So and I see people putting JD Vance, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
JD's great.
He's the perfect type.
2028. JD Vance, fuck it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because he's smart. And he's what do you call it? And he's also funny.
Yeah.
He's also has a really good sense of humor. Like, he could troll. I'm sure he could come up with like some good. I'm sure he came up with some of the trolls Trump was doing.
I'm sure.
So it's that I'm saying there's a new type of conservative that's going to be the mainstream conservative. And that's what I believe Trump is going to bring in. Now, I believe there's a lot of conservatives right now going, okay, we'll just go this 4 years. And and what I'm talking about is the conservatives that, one, tried to go to the DeSantis route.
Yes.
And tried to give up on Trump.
Yes.
In the primaries. And the ones that kept saying, Trump could win this. He just needs to tone it down a little bit. He needs to tone it down.
Yes.
And it was
whoever those conservatives are voting for, we can't vote for it.
Keep them around because they're smart. Senate, maybe.
Senate.
Keep them in the Senate. We got to learn how to reconfigure these jobs.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's, again, the reconfiguring of society. Nerds and bookworms, you're over there. You're doing your fucking thing. You may get bullied a little bit.
Par for the course.
It's par for the course, yeah. Jocks and fucking sports guys and funny guys go over here, and jocks go over there, and and then we fucking figure out what we do in the world.
Yes.
None of this like everybody gets a trophy shit anymore. Meritocracy. Yes.
Meritocracy. We're back.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping that the Republicans, just to put a button on that, the Republicans realize that and start pushing that. Change the party so that when Trump is out of office, it just goes right into we got a bench already. And we got a few guys already, so
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Look at the future's looking bright for the Republican Party, I think.
Oh yeah. A lot of hope.
Yeah.
And I said it election night. Now that we won, we don't do what black folks did when Obama won and rest.
We keep working.
We put on the pressure.
Yeah.
Go even harder.
Yeah, we keep working.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our job, I guess.
Oh wait, is Fat Joe gonna lecture us on why we should vote for Kamala?
Let's speed through some of these because we got a lot.
That's crazy
to cover after this.
I didn't see this.
Oh yeah, he goes off on his fellow Latinos.
Saying no, we're still for And I see Puerto Ricans saying, no, we're still for Trump. 2024. That's the house mentality. Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's the Latino that wish he was white. Right. Those the guys in the comments. You know what I mean? Change their voice up, try to sound white, try to fill in. Those the guys, you know, those are guys I've been fighting my whole life.
Did he just use the term house nigga to describe Hispanics that voted for Trump?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on today?
And these the guys that change up their voice and try to sound white. They should be like me, who be trying to sound black all the time, even though I'm a fat Puerto Rican.
Listen.
And those are the guys that he's been fighting his whole life, not black gangsters. Shut the fuck up.
I got a lot of respect for Fat Joe.
Fuck
man.
Fat Joe.
Lean Back. Lean Back was a great song. I don't give a fuck about your politics, buddy. At all. Like 0%. And the fact that you're sitting there using the term house nigga. See, this is what I don't like about Democrats. Because they'll fucking chastise us for saying the shit that we say.
Right.
And then one of their fucking allies goes on a show and talks to a black man and says, oh, well, these Spanish people are just acting like house niggas.
And he like, right.
Really,
yeah.
nigga? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
So not only is it him using a racial term towards that was made for black people, black slaves, he's calling it to Latinos. And then you have a black guy agreeing with him that Latinos that voted for Trump are house niggas.
It's all bullshit.
It's insane.
All bullshit.
And again, we're judging it by their rules.
Yes.
These aren't our rules.
I don't give a fuck.
I would be all for it.
But that's their shit.
It's an honest conversation, at least. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's honest. They're saying what they feel. So yeah, they don't want to give us the say. Like this same conversation, had it been Republicans, it would be all over front page news. Just like Nick Fuentes went viral and was on mainstream media.
Yo, he's too funny.
He's hilarious.
He did get doxxed for that shit. That's fucked up. Maybe we'll talk about it later, but damn.
Yeah. Shout out to Nick Fuentes. Don't always agree with him, but I defend him.
Your body, my choice.
That I agreed with.
That
one I agreed with.
The Troll Meister. Jesus Christ.
Let me just play this one View clip because they went off on the Hispanics. Hey, Democrats, they're ours now. They're our demographics.
They belong to us.
You fucking commies. That's why they didn't vote for them. I'm telling you, I had multiple Hispanics tell me that's why they're not voting for Kamala. Yeah. She's a fucking communist. They saw the writing on the wall.
Because they know a lot of them come from those countries. If they're not going to vote for those same, the reason they're here is to escape that shit. They're not vote for it.
And they saw their country turn communism, so they know what the redistribution of wealth. That's a term communists use.
Price controls.
Yes, all those terms. Fidel Castro used them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to push through his agenda. So they know. Again, though, they that's another point. You Republicans, like if they ever see a Republican like eating a taco, they laugh at us like they don't even know they're eating Hispanic food. It's like, yeah, we know what the fuck a taco is, idiot.
Love tacos.
It's like, and I've always had this theory: conservatives actually understand other cultures better than liberals do.
Because conservatives don't look at one aspect of a culture and define everybody by that.
Well, all liberals do is they look at the horrible aspects of their culture and their food.
Yes.
And what I mean is their oppression, whatever oppression they had, because they're like, oh, we could target that. And then their food, because they see immigrants as servants, because they're all rich people.
Who's gonna pick our fucking vegetables?
Who's gonna clean your toilet, Donald Trump?
It's like, whoa,
whoa,
god damn, that's all they're good for, huh? It's crazy.
Well, let's play
this. Is this The View?
Yeah, The View.
Oh man,
they have a nice conversation.
And finally, we talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border. The border crisis is on their doorstep.
Bro,
and they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that was.
The lessons are not
Do you see how they just shut it down?
Sunny might be the most annoying person I've ever like just watching her talk, because she doesn't.
She's an arrogant cunt.
She's arrogant, but everything she says, there's not a hint of logic in anything she says.
No.
Everything is emotion.
It's all emotion.
It's
pure
all
emotion.
And this is somebody who was a prosecutor. I think all her cases need to be revisited.
Maybe.
That's crazy.
Just based on her fucking dumbness that she's been displaying. But it's like this girl, I don't know who she is, but she's on to something. She's about to touch on maybe expand the conversation a little bit, but do you see how they put roadblocks?
They shut her down.
No, misogyny.
She's supposedly the only Republican on the show, and her and the other chick. But
she was making a Republican point, at least. They were voting because they're border towns.
Right.
Wait, sorry, go ahead. You were saying.
Well, no, I was just gonna say she's right in this point, but she still is complicit in spreading the message that Trump is bad.
Yeah. They're soft Republicans. Yeah. Let's finish the clip and then we'll move on.
Who's there? Oh my gosh, it's Whoopi.
I don't know why, but that was worth playing.
That might be a fucking clip, actually.
That might be a button. She adds nothing.
I don't know how people actually get up in the morning and watch this. You know what I mean?
It brainwashed a generation.
I think probably most of their views come from people like us that review it. It's fucking crazy.
Here's the thing that also, again, liberals, I've said it all the time, they don't have foresight, right? How do they, after this, now next, even in the primaries in 2 years, I think they're going to have a primary. Even in the next election, in any election, how are they going to appeal to Latino voters now? New ones, because the ones like Fat Joe, for instance, he's gone.
Yeah.
If you were to ask him, oh well, why did what's a problem of why people what's the problem in the Latino community of why they voted for Trump? Misogyny or racism. They want to be house niggas. They don't even acknowledge the issues that people are voting based on. So they're not going to ever appeal to. They're going to keep trying their peer pressure tactics.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
It's not.
The American people are tired of being told what to do. It's not going to work.
It didn't work.